Welcome back to Market Headlines. Many experts believe that we can gain much more than what we have lost in 2020 as export community pins hope on 2021 for a revival. And the improvement in global demand as well as several incentive policies are believed to boost the export activities and hopefully will lead into 2021 trade surplus.
Chance for posting trade surplus in 2021 is big. Economists predict that the export-import performance in 2021 will be more promising than in 2020. Economist at the University of Indonesia, Fitra Faisal, stated that there is improvement in global demand, as well as several incentive policies that are believed to be able to encourage industry strengthening in export-import activities. In 2020, the increase in the rate of export and import has begun to show an increase. Plus point, Ministry of Trade has applied relaxations of imported raw materials.
Saya bisa melihat bahwa di tahun 2021 ini kita akan jauh lebih menjanjikan, ya, karena dua hal ya. Pertama karena memang perbaikan dari sisi kebijakan domestik dalam negeri, bagaimana kemudian insentif fiskal dan non fiskal mulai kemudian mencapai peranan yang lebih baik. Yang kedua adalah ya perbaikan dari sisi global demand. Global demand ini juga terus kemudian mengerek terutama harga komoditas. Nah, harga komoditas ini merupakan low hanging fruits yang kemudian berhasil menggenjot kinerja ekspor kita.
Fitra Faisal further stated that the sectors that will continue to experience an increase and spur export and import in 2021 are agriculture, plantation services, up to iron and steel industry. Jakarta, Wicky Adrian for IDX Channel.
Yes, we hope that in 2021 we can gain much more than we lost in 2020. In a country scale, 2021 pins hope to recover the economy. Such optimism even comes from the Minister of Trade, Muhammad Lutfi. He estimates that Indonesia's export and import performance in 2021 will experience improvement compared to the previous year. And in short, the trade balance is predicted to be positive. So let's take a look on how government set the optimism through Ministry of Trade strategic plan in the next graphic. And yes, through your screen, we can see the data from the Ministry of Trade strategic plan from 2020 to 2024. And here it is. We can see the surplus target, the export and goods and services, and also non-oil and gas exports. And you can see it through the graphic. Based on the Ministry of Trade Strategic Plan 2020 to 2024, the trade balance in 2021 is targeted to experience a surplus of $1 billion. And this is supported by real exports of goods and services, which are targeted to grow by 4.2%, and also non-oil and gas exports to grow by 6.3%. And in addition, the service export to GDP ratio is targeted to grow by 2.8%. And this will be supported by 25 international treaties in the futures as well. And such optimism comes as the COVID-19 vaccinations as well. For the first time since the pandemic began, there is now a hope for a brighter future, as the vaccinations will affect the economic activities through the expected reintegrations of a supply and demand that have become separated during the pandemic. And as we know that by today, vaccinations program in Indonesia has officially kicked off. A number of export destinations countries such as China, United States, and Europe have also targeted the achievement of herd immunity by April 2021. And after that, community immunity is also expected to occur in developing countries in the third quarter or fourth quarter in 2021. And therefore, Lutfi estimates that Indonesia's trade will also improve. Hopefully, in accordance with the posture, the vaccine will improve our economic status. And another positive sentiment is remembering that Indonesia's trade balance in 2020 was good enough despite the pandemic hit hard. So let's see on how it went through the next graphic. Through the next graphic, we can see Indonesia's trade balance in 2020. Starting from January, that we occurred deficit of $0.6 billion US dollar, but it went significantly. By February 2020, we got 2.5 billion surplus instead. Moving on until November, the latest data that we gather from the Ministry of Trade that Indonesia has booked 2.6 billion US dollar surplus. So despite the pandemic, the growth is even better. So Indonesia has kept its trade balance bold for 7 months in November, posting a 2.62 billion surplus thanks to improving coal and also palm oil exports, because cumulatively Indonesia's export value from January to November 2020 reached 146.8 billion US dollar, or decreased by 4.22% from the same period of last year. This is excluding the oil and gas, and exports stood at 139.49 billion US dollar, which down only by 2.18%. And by 2021, it is expected that the trade balance in 2021 will get a surplus of 1 billion US dollar. And of course, it won't happen for free. There are strategies to carry it on. So what are those? Let's see through the next graphic. Through the next graphic, we can see government strategy to achieve, we can call it as optimism in trade surplus in 2021. First of all, finding alternative export market. We can see that government is aiming for non-traditional market other than China or United States and also Europe. We are seeking for the non-traditional markets. And moving on to joining trade expos. As we know that there are Dubai trade expos, and also Indonesia will have another trade expo as well. And this will be the momentum for Indonesia to increase the export as well. And easing licensing, as we can gather that the government is pushing through the export and import performance through legalizing and legal uncertainty by easing the licensing both from exporters and importers. And next, trade missions. Here it is strengthening the trade missions between Indonesia and other countries, which include business forums, business matching, and business dialogues. As a matter of fact, the use of digital technology will be a solution in the conditions of COVID-19 pandemic with limited mobility between countries. And in 2021, the Ministry of Trade can agree on 25 international agreements, either PTA or FTA or CIPA. And government is looking forward on international agreements in this case because there were a lot of international agreements that happened in 2020 that was very beneficial for Indonesia. One of them is RCEP. So what is that? The objective of RCEP agreement is to establish a comprehensive, high-quality, and mutually beneficial economic partnership that will facilitate the expansions of regional trade and investment, including the Indonesia itself. And therefore, it can contribute to global economic growth and development and the development of Indonesia as well. So let's see who are the members in the next graphic. Through your screen, we can see the members between the RCEP. There's our country, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam, Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, Brunei Darussalam, and there's also China, South Korea, Japan, and Australia, also New Zealand. These countries are the members of the RCEP, and we hope that this will be beneficial for Indonesia to have partnership with these countries. And accordingly, it will bring about market and employment opportunities to business and people in the region. And RCEP agreement will work alongside and support an open, inclusive, and rules-based multilateral trading system. Even the Director General of International Trade Negotiations at the Ministry of Trade, Iman Pambagio, said that he had